How's it going, everybody? It's Royalty Crypto here, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the most popular Layer 1 projects right now, that being Near Protocol. I'm also going to take a look at the overall crypto market as a whole, and some interesting pieces of data that I believe will help drive these crypto prices into a bull run in 2026. And before I talk about that, guys, this is a brand new YouTube channel, and so if you like crypto content and daily crypto updates, please make sure to like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate the support. But without further ado, let's get right on into this video and let's talk about the overall market first. So as you can see, Bitcoin is trading at $87,200 and it has been a crazy day to say the very least. It seems like every single Monday has kind of been playing out like this lately, where we have that crazy run Sunday night and then back down to the prices that we were at just a couple of hours before then. And that is exactly what played out today, as well as we did get to almost $90,200 yesterday, and now we are back down to 87,000. Same thing happened with Ethereum and Solana as well, but overall, guys, I'm not too concerned with it. I know we keep getting rejected off of these different price levels, but overall, it does seem like the fear in the overall crypto market is starting to slowly subside, and I do think that early 2026 will be very bullish for these coins, and that includes for Near Protocol. As you can see, Near Protocol is currently trading at $1.52, and it has a market cap of just under $2 billion. I do think that Near needs Bitcoin to do very well before it can have a bull run of its own, and that is why I always talk about Bitcoin in basically all of my altcoin videos. But when you take a look at the chart, in my opinion, it actually does look like a fantastic time to be accumulating, but of course that is not financial advice, that is just my opinion. As you can see, in late 2024, this coin did get all the way up to a $9 billion market cap, which is about a 4x roughly from where it is currently sitting. And right now we are back down to almost its all-time lows, at least the lowest that we've seen since about late 2023. But it does seem like the price is holding up relatively well compared to a lot of other altcoins in the space. I think that if the overall altcoin market does start to gain a lot of traction in early 2026, I think that Near Protocol could easily get back to its all-time highs around a $11 billion market cap. In fact, I do think this coin has a potential to get even higher than that, potentially up to around 20 to 30 billion. But of course, this is a layer 1 project, so the sky is truly the limit, and it does have potential to get all the way to a $100 billion market cap, although I am not predicting that, and I do recommend that you guys sell on the way up and make sure that you take profits so that you don't round trip your bag. Also, Near Protocol is an AI and privacy blockchain, and both of those have been very hot narratives in the past couple of years. AI, of course, has been going crazy in traditional finance, and the privacy coins like, for example, Zcash and ICP had incredible runs just a couple of months ago when the overall altcoin market wasn't doing very well. So I do think that if that narrative can still have some traction in 2026, which I do expect, I think that Near Protocol will benefit greatly from it. So yeah, in my opinion, guys, buying right now at these current levels does present a fantastic risk to reward opportunity. And of course, as you guys can see, we are currently sitting at a 30 out of 100 on the Fear and Greed Index, although I do expect this to come down just a bit in the next few hours when it does update, most likely down to a 27 or a 28. But nevertheless, guys, we are slowly but surely ticking up on the Fear and Greed Index, which is definitely a bullish sign in my opinion. I wouldn't be surprised if we do have one more dip, maybe back down to around a 20 on the Fear and Greed Index before we really start our next leg up, but we'll just have to see how the rest of this year and the beginning parts of 2026 play out. But it does give me a lot of confidence that people are gaining trust in the crypto market again, and I do think that the reason we've seen so much fear is ultimately because of the October 10th liquidation event that we saw. So I just don't think that people are fully trusting investing into altcoins right now. But in my opinion, when the masses aren't trusting an asset like crypto, that is the time to be accumulating, and that is what I've been doing for the past couple of weeks to months even at this point. But all right, let's talk about some interesting pieces of data that I believe will drive these prices much higher in 2026. As you guys can see, I have the Federal Reserve Reserve repo chart pulled up. And this basically shows different amounts of liquidity that are being injected into the market. And there are different reasons why the Federal Reserve injects this liquidity. Oftentimes it is to save failing banks and just stimulate the economy in general. And if you zoom out on this chart, you can see that this is the first time since 2020 that the Federal Reserve has actually been injecting money into the overall financial markets via the repo. So this is, in my opinion, a bullish thing to be looking at, because this is definitely showing that the Federal Reserve is willing to inject liquidity into this economy, and that this will likely continue for the next year or so. And I do think that it will accelerate. But overall, guys, as you know, the more money that is injected into the economy, the easier it is for risk on assets like crypto to pump. And the more money that regular everyday investors have in their pocket is, of course, beneficial for assets like crypto. And then another interesting piece of news, Michael Saylor's strategy buys 1,229 Bitcoin today, worth 108 million. Now for him, that's not a crazy buy by any means, and it really does go to show that institutions are stacking right now, even though a lot of retail investors are scared of the market and selling, or just not necessarily paying attention. And this does happen every single time we see a dip in the market. So it is important, in my opinion, guys, that when everybody else is telling you it's a bad time to buy, that you do not listen to their opinions and you form your own opinions based on data and based on the content that I create. But of course, that is not financial advice, so make sure that you do research outside of these videos as well. But all right, guys, the last thing that I wanted to talk about today is just how insane this run has been for silver. As you can see, we are currently sitting at $72 an ounce. And yesterday in my video, when we were at actually above $80, it doesn't even register on this chart, I was saying that I was opening a short in silver, and I definitely think that that is the more wise decision right now rather than buying the top, because this does seem like just the textbook parabolic blow off top that we see in markets at times. And actually, funny story, I was just in a silver store just a couple of minutes ago, and it was just insane to see how many people were lined up just trying to buy absurd amounts of gold and silver. And it was just very interesting to see just like the euphoria in the silver markets right now in 4K. And yeah, guys, I mean, it's just very important to not follow the herd in investments like this, because I guarantee you that large institutions and like silver miners are going to be dumping so much of their silver and taking advantage of these high prices. And in my opinion, this is going to come crashing back down to probably $35 to $40 within the next couple of months. And the reason that I bring this up is because I think that we can all learn from times like this, even though this is silver, because when Bitcoin has a run like this, hopefully sometime in 2026, it is very important that you guys stay humble and don't get caught up in the greediness of markets, because it is very difficult to take profits during times like this, especially when you're very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto like we all are. But whenever there is this much euphoria in markets, it never lasts forever, and it is very important to secure some profits, because overall that is the reason why we invest into assets like this. But alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all had a fantastic day, and I will be back tomorrow. Peace.